Hi, Rediscovering Me community. Here I am in sunny Albufeira. Sorry that I'm not outside by the pool. It's too noisy out there, so I've had to come inside. So I want you to imagine that that is the sun and it's shining really brightly and it's really hot. And I'm in my cosy, which is a big self-confidence thing for me, daring to be live on the TV, on the website in my cosy. Excuse me, itchy nose. This week I've been thinking a lot about self-confidence. We've got our Luscious in London retreat coming up soon. If you want more information about it, have a look on our website. It's on the home page, there's a link to it. And we are thinking about self-confidence because that's one of the themes of the retreat. And we've been tweeting about it, and we've been vlogging on Instagram and on our website, and there's an article on our website about it as well. And what I've been doing is I've been thinking a lot about what self-confidence is and what self-confidence isn't, and doing a bit of research on the internet and finding out that self-confidence is about there are two things. So there's a general feeling of self-confidence to do with I'm not very good at things, or low self-confidence, I'm not very good at things, I don't do things, I don't try new things out, that kind of thing. And then there's a second one which is about specific instances. I'm good at this, I'm normally confident, but in this particular instance I'm not confident. And the first one is more about self-worth and self-esteem. It's about how you feel inside yourself in your ability to achieve things and to make a difference in the world, and how good you are and how much worth you think you have in the world. And the second one is really called self-efficacy, and it's about lack of confidence in specific situations. And I possibly even call it a bit of a fear thing. And so that can be to do with things that have happened to you in the past. So an example would be that this week I've been coaching someone who was thrown into a swimming pool when he was little, and ever since then he's been frightened of the feeling of getting water near his face and around his ears. And as I was coaching him, I was thinking a lot about a model which I love, which is about comfort zones. And I don't know whether you've ever come across this model before. I think it was Seninger who thought it up, who thought it up, how professional is that, who created it. And what he said was that we live in almost like a bubble of comfort. Now, what I want you to do is imagine that as being a green circle that you live inside, and anything that feels comfortable to you will be inside that green circle. So if you feel comfortable with speaking on stage, then that will be in your green circle. It doesn't matter that that's something that will be outside the green circle for other people. It's about you and what you feel comfortable with. And so this person who'd been thrown in the pool when he was small, he didn't feel comfortable with having water on his face at all, which causes him problems. He can swim, but when he swims, he's not a very confident swimmer, and that's because he daren't sort of push out and get his shoulders under the water for fear of getting water on his face. So I was coaching him to try and help him to improve that. And so the first thing I did was I checked out where he was in his green circle. So I got him to show me in the water how far down he was willing to go before he started feeling a bit worried, and he was willing to go to his neck. Didn't want to get his chin in the water at all. Now, just outside this green circle is another circle. It's more like a donut, and it goes all the way around the green circle. And I like it to be amber, because I think of traffic lights. Green, amber, red. We'll talk about the red in a minute. This amber one is the learning zone. So this is where, if you dare to step into it, you will learn something that will help you to gain more self-confidence in that specific area. And then outside the amber zone is everything else is red. So this is everything outside the amber zone is my panic zone, it's called. So what would happen, for example, I'm not very good at let's say appearing in my swimming costume, okay? So I wouldn't wear a bikini in public, not in a million years at the moment. So at the moment, it feels to me like anything to do with a bikini and me, my body in one in a public area, is completely outside my learning zone and is completely in the red panic zone. But the more that I do, the more tiny little steps I take into my learning zone, the more that my green learning zone gets bigger, and the more that my green comfort zone gets bigger, and the more that then my big amber coloured learning zone kind of expands out, and the smaller the red all around it goes. So let me just give you an example of how it worked with this guy. So he was up to here with the water. Said to him, so what's the first tiny step that you want to take to try and help yourself be able to have more water on your face? And he said, I just want to be able to get it up to here on my chin. I said, okay, let's do that then. So I said, are you okay? So he said, yeah. And I made him feel comfortable, and I said, it's up to you when you do it, and it's up to you when you stop doing it. So he said, okay. So he went down in the water, and he got up to his chin, and then he came straight back up again. I said, how'd that feel? And he said, it was scary, but I did it. And I said, you did do it. It was great. Do you want to have another go? He said, yeah, all right. So he goes back down in the water, and this time he stays down there for quite a while, and he comes back up, and I said, how do you feel? And he said, it was fine. So I said, do you want to have another go? He went down, and I said to him while he was in the water, how do you feel? And he spoke, and some water went on his lips, and it frightened him, and he came back up. So he recognised that he was okay, and his green comfort zone had expanded so that he was okay to go down into the water, so long as he didn't speak, up to here. And so he'd been into his learning zone, and as soon as he'd made that foray into it and tried it out, it expanded his green comfort zone, and that was pushing his learning zone outwards as well. So because the things that would have panicked him before starting to feel less worrying. So next thing I said, okay, what's your next step then? So he said, I want to get the water up to here. I said, okay. So he went down into the water, and he got the water up to here, and he was fine. He just stayed there, and he was like, he didn't speak. He came back up, and he said, that was great. I can do it. So I said, go back down to your chin. No, he went down to his chin. He's like, oh, this is so easy. And he was even speaking with the water there, and he was okay. So just taking a couple of steps had allowed him to make that definite thing of the chin being in the green learning zone, in the green comfort zone. So I said, what's your next step? And he just got hold of his nose, and he dipped his face right in the water, and he came up, and he was coughing, and eyes were like, oh, I'm trying to get the water. And he was really... And what he'd done was he just thought he could do it, and he'd gone into his panic zone. It was too much for him, and he was frightened. So he'd taken he'd taken too big a step. And I suppose that's what my message to you all is. What is in your comfort zone? Where is the edge of it with a particular confidence issue? Where is the edge of it? And what is that single tiny weeny step that's going to take you to the next level, into the learning zone? Mine with the COSI has been partially appearing on here has helped me today. So that was one of the tiny steps. And another tiny step might be to wear a full swimming costume in a public place this week. And then eventually I might say, okay, I'll be on the beach, I'll read a book with my cosy on under an umbrella. The next step might be, okay, I'm going to go down to the sea and I'm going to just walk down and walk back. The next step might be, I'm going to go for a swim and then walk back. The next step might be, okay, I'm going to try a big bikini, one of those that kind of almost meets the pants in the middle, and go through the same set of steps again. And then eventually, maybe one day, I'll feel okay with a smaller bikini. So what is it that you've got a self-confidence issue with, and what is your first tiny step that you're going to try and take to see if it expands into your learning zone and therefore your comfort zone becomes bigger? So that's what I'm encouraging you to do this week. So please do tell me, put a message below about what it is that you feel low self-confidence about and what it is that you're going to actually do to don't make it too big a tiny step to try and expand that comfort zone. And the other thing is, if you want to know anything more about self-confidence, we've got an article on our website, rediscoveringme.org, and we've been vlogging, so there are some vlogs on our website as well about it. There's stuff going on Instagram on our story every day. We've been tweeting about it this week, and if you look on the homepage of our website, there's a link to Luscious in London, which is our retreat, our self-confidence retreat. Self-confidence, self-esteem, personal style, loving yourself inside and out, that's what we're aiming to do during that week. It's a fabulous retreat, so do have a look at that. And fill in the contact me form if you want more information, and one of us will give you a call back. And in the meantime, have a fantastic week and be the best you can be. Bye. Bye.